Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. It's now time for us to look at what the papers are reporting. I start with the Nation newspaper. Idris, federal government projects spread fairly among 6 zones. Northwest is major beneficiary. Over 1,000 primary health care centers rehabilitated. Blueprint newspaper, Northwest biggest beneficiary of government projects. That's according to the federal government. Lists development commissions, ongoing capital projects across 6 geopolitical zones. Tinubu fair to all sections of Nigeria. That's according to Minister Idris. Nigeria News Direct. Northwest biggest beneficiary of projects under Tinubu. Information Minister. While Lagos, Abuja deserve more investments, cannot be ignored. That's according to Dari. Now this Nigeria says Northwest has lion's share of national projects, says federal government. That's according to Information Minister Idris, debunking allegations of marginalization by Tinubu's critics, says no region sidelined. Leadership newspaper has another story. Delayed capital budget stirs concerns as experts warn of rising costs. Next is the Daily Times. Pension. PenCom DG NLC president meet as Labour insists on inclusion. The Punch newspaper. Rivers local government poll. Atiku demands annulment as Wike reasserts control. Fubara loses local government. APC wins 20 local governments. PDP claims 3. FCT ministers control temporary. That's according to Rivers elders. And moving on to the Platform Times. 12 IDPs suffer snake bites in Benue camps. Teenager battles for life. Overcrowding, poor health care feel dangers. Victims rely on herbs as hospitals remain far. The Abuja Inquirer talks about the FCT, which has a broken educational system. CSO decries dilapidated LEA schools. Pupils abandoned classrooms for farms. Invigilators owed marking fees since February. Interesting development. And then Sporting Live, back better. Nwabali stages miraculous comeback after he was stretchered off last Tuesday. His injury not serious. That's good news there. Etoma and Ria will be doing this with me. Etoma, once again, welcome to the Breakfast Show.
I've missed his insight. Welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Absolutely. Now let's start off with the interesting developments here, talking about the Nation newspaper, the Blueprint newspaper, the Nigeria News Direct, This Nigeria, talking about the hullabaloo going on in the country as regards the presidency, who originated from the south, and then people, his critics, his detractors are saying that all the projects that have been done so far are only focused, on the southwest, especially Lagos. But then the minister is saying, no, that's not the case. If you look at the northwest, where the largest voting bloc, came from, especially for this government, they are also getting the lion's share. In fact, they got the lion's share.
And I'm really wondering why this is such a big discourse. I'm really wondering about that because, first of all, it was the northern elders that were complaining. Now it is the detractors that are complaining. It is very easy. Look at what the Honorable Minister for Works is doing. Check out the roads. Are the roads concentrated more in the southwest or in the northwest? Can you actually say that we have more roads in this region more than other regions? Right. And that's just roads only. What about other infrastructural development that has been going on? A lot of them we do not even know about. So for developmental projects, myself and me alone, according to my friend, I would give this government a pass mark if we take roads as an indices for comparison. Detractors will always be there. We have official detractors, and then we have non-official detractors. Which of them is louder? It depends on where you stand. But that a government will come, do whatever it's doing, and everybody says, hey, you are fantastic. That is impossible.
That's impossible. Ria, let me paint a background for you. If you look at the number of projects that have been done, Northwest got 5.97 trillion naira. That's over 40% of our approvals. South, 2.41 trillion naira. North Central, 1.13 trillion naira. Southeast, 407 billion naira. And then Northeast, 400 billion naira. Southwest, excluding Lagos, got 604 billion naira. And Lagos exclusive project, 1.2 trillion naira. And part of the project in Lagos, some of these people, they just brought all of the projects on that Lagos and that of Southwest, fused them together and said that, yes, Lagos is getting the highest. Whereas if you look at Lagos-Calabar Expressway, do you not think that we should begin to look at whatever is done in any region of this country is to the national development? Because farmers in Sokoto will need Lagos roads to deliver its goods.
And Ibrahim, what I'll say is that for every government, people will criticize. Even though you're doing your best, they'll still say that you did not do your best enough. When we speak about infrastructure, especially roads, I don't like the fact that we always want to link it that, oh, this place is getting more. There are so many places that are getting good road. Let's talk about Abuja. And even Kano as well. There are so many places that we can see a lot of things are being done. At the end of the day, all these regions are part of Nigeria. One region is just not one region standing on its own. Nigeria is a whole. So I feel like we should not just look at one side, oh, it's happening only in Lagos, only in Calabar, oh, this place are left out. The Northerners, at some points, we heard them saying a lot, oh, we are being left out. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, there are things that are being done there. I feel like oftentimes, maybe I'll say that we push the ones that are done in Lagos more, Abuja, we talk about it more rather than talking about the other ones. I feel like as media people now, it's high time that we now get to start speaking about the fact that, oh, they're doing a road in Maduguri, oh, something is happening in Kano. But I tell you, it's a fair share. Everybody is getting it. But once again, it's a government. Not everybody will agree with what you do. Even though you do it perfectly, there will still, people will talk. That's why opposition is there.
But do you think that should be the case? You know, when you can see clearly, I think it's one thing that is very important for government is to ensure that you write your name in projects, as well as also write your name in the heart of people in terms of the deliverables, which people can see, but others will always close their eyes.
You see, this has not gotten the Minister of Information's job cut out for him, you know, and it should also let him know that he's not doing enough talking.
Exactly.
He's not celebrating the administration as much as he should. That's why people are calling him out on things that the administration has done very well, and they are saying the administration has not done it. If he had sort of celebrated these things beforehand, the critics wouldn't have this topic to talk about.
Let's move on to the leadership newspaper. Ria, we'll start off with you. If you look at delayed capital budget stirs concerns as experts warn of rising costs. So there is this January to December budget cycle, which the government is doing. But then over the years, federal government has always, carried over projects, delay in the signing of, approval of budgets to be done in terms of roads, in terms of education, in terms of all of those things. So capital projects are really, really suffering. Do you not feel that this will definitely, affect the deliverables of this administration? Even though they're saying, yes, what we've done so far, we've really, really done well. But this is a challenge.
It's a big challenge, and the question we want to ask is that why are they delayed? What is the reason why they are being delayed? Because there's no way that it would not affect infrastructure, food, it affects everything. So now we want to know that if these things are delayed, Nigerians will suffer, and they will suffer it in terms of infrastructure, they'll suffer in terms of food to eat and all, they'll suffer it in terms of even paying high for transportation, like it will get to them. So now the question is, how can we make sure that these budgets are not being delayed? Who is the person delaying them? Because at the end of the day, it's a country and we need to make it better for the citizens. And it's definitely going to affect the administration in one way or the other, because they are delayed and it will definitely show.
Yeah, who is probably responsible? Some of those contractors, some of the ministries are saying that, listen, the issue there is that it has been, what's it called, the Minister of Finance has been mandated to approve. Everything has to go through his table. So I guess that is also affecting the implementation of this capital project. As he has said,
so slow.
More people who are supposed to be taken out of poverty will be there. And by the time you are now implementing this project, it won't meet it up again because inflationary pressures will be there.
Yeah, when I heard that the Minister for Finance has to approve, I said, come on, how can he approve everything and still do his job effectively?
He's a Minister of Finance and coordinating Minister of the Economy.
Yes, I understand, but something will suffer. And it is implementation of the budget that is suffering. And the sad side is that it's the capital side of the budget that is suffering. This is what circulates money. Let us bring the Oyibo down. Let's speak to
the layman's. Let's bring to the layman's turn.
See, capital projects means the capital expenditure means money for projects. All right. Now, when these projects are done, people are employed. Masons, carpenters, contractors are busy. Contractors are employing more people, and so on and so on. And if there is a road contract, the people that are doing the work directly are a few. The real number are those that are doing the work indirectly. The people, the food vendors, the people that are fetching water. That,
all right.
So it makes money
it's going to hit us really hard,
yeah.
actually.
And now, this is the time they are doing, what's it called, the sensitization before.
The process is actually slow, if we want to be honest.
So, Etoma, let me start off with you again with the Daily Times. You know, talking about pension now, it doesn't mean because of your age. That's what I'm saying.
You didn't have to go there.
A blow below the belt, yeah.
Oh my God.
Right, so PenCom DG, NLC president meet as Labour insists on inclusion. So if you look at that, when the PenCom DG came into office, I think in 2024, she didn't meet up with the NLC president, you know, as to, okay, these are the issues. And then they kept having a communication through the media. No, you didn't remit. No, we remitted. You took some amount of money from the NSITF. No, we didn't. And at the time they met, they were able to iron things out. Like, this is how we should do it.
When you're given an appointment, the very first thing I think anybody that has been given an appointment should do is sit down and identify the stakeholders and make consultations all through. You have to talk to these people. When you do, you'll understand where they are coming from, and they will understand your plan, all right? That way, you and all stakeholders will be working together. Not when you sideline, because that's the way it looks. It looks as if Labour was sidelined, and Labour is saying, no, man, we're a pressure group, and we have to be in this thing. Right now, Madam is trying as much as she can to smoothen the ruffled material, so to say. But it's a little bit late in the day. I just hope that this wouldn't slow down her achievements.
That's right. So, Ria, when we talk about pension and then we talk about, you know, NSITF, also all of that, we're looking at transparency. We're looking at ensuring that people who are working, you know, are able to say, yes, we have something, you know, in keep for us, so that when we retire, we'll revert to it. 40% of the Nigerian states have only subscribed.
And it's, Ibrahim, on this table, countless times we've spoken about even people coming out to pray and beg to God that their pensions be paid. And it hurts me that you're working, at the end of the day, you want to receive something. Some of these people, they are old, they can't take care of themselves, you know, they are sick. And it's sad that
some people die.
And it's sad that the money that is now given to them, you even wonder, what can it pay for? I just pray that we look into this and there's accountability. And we know that when you know, it's time for you to finish working, your service for the country, we're talking about lecturers, police officers, soldiers, your service, you get to get it at the end of the day. You shouldn't beg for it. It's your right.
Absolutely. It's your right.
It's your right.
It's your right.
Yes.
Right. So the Punch newspaper. Let's go to Rivers State. Atiku Abubakar demands annulment of Wike. Annulment as Wike reasserts control. So this is in allusion to the just concluded Rivers State election. Local government polls, where APC took about 23. Took about 20 out of the 23 local governments, and Wike asserting its control. But other elders are saying this power is transient too.
I wasn't surprised when I saw the results. Somehow I knew it was going to pan out that way. And you would not blame Atiku for shouting far. It's expected that opposition will shout far because PDP is Rivers State is a traditional PDP state.
That's right.
If there's anything like traditional right now, because the APC has changed the narratives in a whole lot of states. 20 to 3. Well, PDP still has some strongholds, but for every politician, you want to win your local government, your constituency, for your party. And Fubra is still in PDP, and he lost his local government. That's the big knock.
Yeah, a very big one. Very big one.
It's quite a big one, but we'll see, because it looks like the APC has now been, you know, strengthening when it comes to Rivers State. But Ria, because of our time, let's move on to Platform Times, while Etoma gets ready for what's on the front page of the Abuja Inquirer. Platform Times says 12 IDPs suffer snake bites in Benue camps. Teenager battles for life. Overcrowding, poor healthcare field dangers. Victims rely on herbs as hospitals remain far. People had been displaced from their homes. Now they are in concentrated camp, you know, so to speak. And then you talk about hygiene, you talk about food, you talk about, you know, security and all of that. if care is not taken, there can be, or there could be, a breakout of a disease that we may not be able to control.
Definitely, because where they are, different things are touching them. That's why sometimes we hear of these strange diseases and you wonder where are they coming from. I saw it, I'm like snake bites, and look at the one that breaks my heart more, the hospitals are far away. And sometimes you even get to this hospital, there are no beds and there are not even time to take care of you. Now they're relying on herbs. Not saying that herbs do not work. I just feel like citizens in the grassroots need better. Sometimes we often forget them. And I've said it a lot on this table. We forget that grassroots. Ibrahim, I remember when I made an example, I said when you go to the grassroots, you understand that what you see here is quite different. And that's why we're saying local government anatomy, so that these people can be taken care of. I said it, when you tell people to leave their homes, where are you sending them to? The place you're sending them to, is it conducive? Is it hygienic enough for them? Now we're looking at snake bites. We're looking at hospitals being far. And you know how dangerous and poisonous snake bites are.
That's right, because these people actually run for their dear lives, as they would say, and then they're still meeting another difficult...
Another day, just like from frying pan to fire.
Yeah, well, we hope that the government of Benue State and indeed the federal government will, accede to their...
The governor of Benue State, I wonder how he's feeling right now. That stuff like this is happening under his watch. If an IDP is in your state because of security concerns, I would expect that you'll give them a whole lot of attention.
So, Etoma, looking at Abuja and Kwara, inside FCT broken educational system, CSO decries dilapidated LEA schools, pupils abandoned classrooms for farms, invigilators owed marking fees since February. So there is the issue of infrastructural decay of our citadels of learning. And then there is this, students, young age, our future of tomorrow, leaders of tomorrow, they are, being denied, the requisite things that are needed for quality education. Sometimes the roof will be making serious bangs and the students will be distracted. Even when it rains, they run out of classes.
Oh, yes. It is not just the buildings that are dilapidated. The system is also dilapidated so
it's a fundamental problem.
It's a major, major problem, and it's so unfortunate that it's hitting the educational sector. I believe that education is one of the most important things that any government should focus on.
That's right.
Because it shapes what the country will look like in the future. Imagine these people are saying, instead of me to go to those schools, let me go to farm. At least I will harvest something that I'll eat and also sell, instead of spending time trying to get an education that you can't get because of no fault of yours. The FCT administration should take a very hard look at the education sector.
So this revamping, we're seeing it in the urban areas, but the rural areas are really, really suffering the heat. So we are having roads and all of that being done by this minister. Talk about Wike. But people in the hinterland are not really getting, they're not feeling.
So
what's
it looks as
at the end of the day, it's not just about roads. We appreciate the roads, we like it, but it's not just about roads. Education is fundamental. Education is pivotal in every society. You need to train the youth, and how can you train them? By giving them proper education.
Right.
So they cannot be in class and rain is falling on them. You need to not just give them proper education, but a conducive place where they learn. Because I cannot be writing and then I'm afraid for my life that something will follow me. These are things that we definitely need to look in. We should look into roads, but we should look into education.
Even invigilators are also getting their fees, and some of them are owed from February.
The system.
That's where corruption will come in. This is what brings about corruption.
The system has problems. We have to place more importance on education in the FCT, not only in the FCT, in the whole of Nigeria.
The whole of Nigeria.
It is not well, rather than deceiving ourselves by saying it as well.
Yeah, it's not. Well. It's certainly not.
Now, so final paper here is the Sport and Live. It's much of good news. Back better. Nwabali stages miraculous comeback after he was stretchered off last Tuesday. His injury not serious. It's more like what we talk about. Nwabali is like the only goalkeeper Nigeria has.
He's fantastic. He's good.
Because it does well, even for other countries. Talk about South Africa now. He also does well. So much so that South Africans were angry at the point like, how could you secure a goal against our country? But it's good to know that he's back.
And he brings so much value, and that's the thing. When you do well, whatever you do, I love how he's passionate about saving goals for Nigeria. It's beautiful, and I'm happy that he's back.
Of course. All right, so let's. That's about it for the newspapers up for review. We believe that we've done our best to update you as to what the papers have reported this morning. Still to come on TVC Breakfast. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo